am Mighty Keith. Well, like we all predicted, the whole warning that Jeff Keighley and the Game Awards sent out about DLCs and expansions being eligible for Game of the Year, you know, the real reminder for us, kind of told us all that Elden Ring was going to be nominated for Game of the Year. Right? And so lo and behold, it did. Whoa, big surprise. Now, Elden Ring Sahdow of the Erdtree was one of the best games to come out this year. My only gripe is that it is a DLC and therefore should be in a separate category as opposed to games that came out this year. All right, and there's a slew of arguments that you can make against it. And most people tend to agree with that. You can see a little bit of backlash, not really backlash like, oh, I'm boycotting this, but backlash all over Twitter about, on social media in general, about how it should not be to just one. It shouldn't just be it should just be games and not the DLCs expansions, because then we go into a slippery slope as to like, well, why weren't other DLCs nominated in the past that were incredibly good? Phantom Liberty, Torna the Golden Country, The Future Redeemed, a plethora of very well No Man's Sky expansions. Those were actually very good. Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers. You know what I mean? Why is it that these games, these DLCs aren't in the Game of the Year category in those years? Shadowbringers is commercially and critically, like both users and critics say probably one of the best out there expansions out there. As well as the other DLC. I'm sorry. We got a bearded dragon. She's acting up over there. She wants to come play. They've had plenty of other expansions that were very good. Anyways, guys, today I wanted to go over the Game of the Year nominees as well as the other nominees that are going on for the rest of the categories, and even vote on some if you guys want to do that today. So for right now, I just wanted to give my opinions about what I think about the DLC. I don't think it should be up here. Why haven't other DLCs been up here than before? When there were many of them that could have been considered Game of the Year. Even Witcher 3, Blood and Wine, was not Game of the Year nominated. It was nominated and won RPG of the Year, but it wasn't Game of the Year. And Blood and Wine was definitely one of the best games that came out that year. So it just seemed a little strange that they reserved that now for Sahdow of the Erdtree. I would even say Blood and Wine is better than Sahdow of the Erdtree if we're talking about DLC quality, right? But that just goes to show how good Blood and Wine is. Sahdow of the Erdtree is also in that top echelon of good DLCs. But also it just seems weird because it's like, let's say Erdtree wins Game of the Year, right? People are going to want to go to the store, get Game of the Year. Then they find out they have to get Elden Ring first and then progress 20 to 30 hours into the game, fight some hidden boss, like that's not even part of the main campaign, and then get into Sahdow of the Erdtree. It just doesn't seem like it just doesn't seem practical. Like if someone wanted to play this game, like if someone wanted to play the Game of the Year, you should be able to go to the store, get it, and that's it. That's it. But yeah, I just simply think that there should be other category, its own separate category of DLC of the year. Because one, what that does is it highlights the actual DLCs that came out this year, and it doesn't shun or take away from places of other full-fledged games that are not add-ons or expansions that came out this year. For example, instead of Sahdow of the Erdtree, it could have been Silent Hill 2, or it could have been Like a Dragon. What's the new Yakuza? Which one was that called? Infinite Wealth, right? It could have been Space Marines 2. It could have been other games that were not add-ons. You just go to the store and buy them, right? You just get the game. But instead, this is an expansion and or add-on, and I just disagree with that, right? And then, again, like I said, while making its own category, you also get to highlight other expansions that did come out that didn't get any other nominations otherwise, right? Like Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred, where I don't think that's Game of the Year quality, obviously, but it is a DLC that I think was pretty good, right? I think it was pretty good, and you won't ever get that. What else came out this year? Lake House, Alan Wake 2's DLC, The Lake House, of course, Erdtree, and things like that. Just each year, there's always going to be some type of DLC. You know, whenever there's a game that has ongoing MMOs, right? They have good DLCs that come out. You know, they should be highlighted in a DLC list. But yeah, anyways, it is what it is. I just disagree with it. I think that there should be a separate category, and I think there should be a separate category because it both helps highlight other expansions, but also doesn't take away a place of a game that is not an expansion in the Game of the Year category. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody, in my opinion. But yeah, let's move on. All right, so I'll have another video out later on today about PlayStation trying to acquire, what's it called, FromSoft, which is wild. We'll talk about that. But yeah, hey, guys, that's kind of the rant part. Now I want to get into just like a few of these things that I care about. I'm not going to get into all of them because that's going to take forever. I'm just going to get into the ones I kind of care about, and we're going to start from left to right. Don't care about esports athlete. Don't really care about esports team either, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not as big into esports as I used to be. So let's start with like content creator of the year. I don't know any of these people. I think I know. I've heard of KCO. We're just gonna vote for him. How do I do it? Did I do it? Cool. I think I did it. All right. I've never actually voted in one of these like ever. So if I go back, voted. Most anticipated game. Most anticipated game, bro. This is actually very difficult because I want all of these. I did not think this was going to be as difficult as it is. If y'all don't know, I love Monster Hunter. I am a Monster Hunter advocate. A Monster Hunter. Now, I'm not as religious as others in the community because I have not played every Monster Hunter. But of the Monster Hunters that I have played, which was Monster Hunter Freedom, Monster Hunter Generations, the Switch version. So I guess it's Generations U. It's like Generations Ultimate, the Switch version, obviously. Rise, Worlds, and of course we got into the Wilds beta. That was fun as hell. Bro. Yeah, Metroid Prime 4. I recently got into into Metroid. Like I've never really been a huge Metroid fan, but I like it, right? Because like it's one of those things where I've played everything around the Metroid sphere, but never really Metroid itself. I played Metroid Dread, and that's like the only Metroid I've beaten, and that game is godlike. The first person one that's on the Switch, I got that as well. It's like a remaster of the one that was on, I guess, GameCube. It's like when you're in first person, and that's pretty fun so far. I want to get back into that. So this is hype. This is actually really big. Death Stranding, come on. There was a big fuss about the first one when it first came out. They're like, oh, walking simulator, blah, 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 blah. But this is one of those games where the narrative changed the more people played it and the longer time like went on, because now everyone loves it, right? Everyone loves. You go on Steam, it's like either very positive or overwhelmingly positive. It just got released on Xbox. All the Xbox players are loving it. Like this is a game that some people were like, what? You don't do it. It's boring, blah blah blah. And then as time went on, they were like, oh, I see the vision. I see Kojima's vision. And then the second one apparently is going to have more action and stuff like that. You know, Kojima listened. Ghost of Yotei, obviously, come on, bro. Ghost of Tsushima is one of the best games that PlayStation has, right? That was like a god tier, what's it called? Exclusive that they had. So I can only imagine Ghost of Yotei, they're going to try to put as much quality in there. But man, I'm sorry. It's got to be Grand Theft Auto 6, man. It's got to be. 10 years, brother. We've been waiting 10 years for this damn game to come out. And they've been just milking 5. And it's just like, bro, we need some more, right? Best adaptation. What's this one all about? I'm not going to do this one because I haven't watched the new Arcane. Fallout was good. Haven't watched Knuckles. Haven't watched Yakuza. When did this come out? What? When did this come out? Tomb Raider. Haven't watched that either, so I don't have interest in it. Oh, right now, right? Best multiplayer. Let's see what they got going on. This is also hard, right? Didn't play Mario Party, so we're gonna kick that out. This is hard because Helldivers 2 was actually godlike. That's another game that got taken out of the Game of the Year discussion. That could have been, right? That game came out this year and it had an amazing start. It broke records everywhere. It was a $40 game and it wasn't really on a lot of people's like radars, right? You know, the people who played Helldivers 1, it was a big community for it. So they started it, right? They were part of the fundamental base of that game. But then it started like word of mouth made that game kind of be like, yo, this is just a fun game. You know what I mean? Nothing too crazy. Yes, it's live service, but it was done live service in a good way. Like it was actually very good. And so this game started good, and then they started doing the PlayStation thing, where it's like once you get that success, you're like, how can we just screw this up? You know, what can we do to do that? And then they started making you do the sign in, which a lot of people apparently they did say you would have to do it, but at a later date. But people don't read the fine print, right? So everyone was upset, obviously, because they felt like they didn't want to do this. They didn't want to do it, which is understandable. I mean, you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it, right? So they were upset about that. They let their voices heard, and then after that, it was just months and months and months of just bad patches, nerfs to equipment, things weren't as fun. And then ultimately, they reverted a lot of that, right? I don't even think you need a PS sign-in anymore for PC, but you do still have to what's it called? You do still have to... I think it is still banned in like 180 countries, something crazy. But they also reverted the bad changes, so a lot of the weapons are fun again, and the game is apparently just fun again. So it had a good start, horrible middle, and then a good ending / current status. So this should be in Game of the Year contention, but it wasn't. Tekken 8 is God tier. This is the first Tekken that I'm taking seriously. I haven't played in a few months, but because I've been doing other fighting games like Sparking Zero, and then I love Street Fighter 6, so I've just been on that a lot. And then this is one of my Game of the Years. I'm gonna be honest. And honestly, I did the single player more than the multiplayer, but the multiplayer is very fun. Black Ops 6, I'm sorry. I literally hate to be that guy, but this is the first time I played Call of Duty since like Modern Warfare on the 360, whichever one that one was. And I'm having a blast. This is a casual ass game, right? It doesn't feel as hard as Rainbow Six Siege or what else? Apex Legends or Counter-Strike. I play a little bit of Counter-Strike, or what's it called? The other one from Riot. It's kind of like Counter-Strike. I like that one a lot too. I forgot what it's called. But anyways, yeah, I don't care. This game is fun. This is like good arcade shooting fun, and that's what I like, arena shooting fun. So I'm actually having a lot of fun with this, man. But I'm gonna be honest, bro. It's gonna be either Tekken or Warhammer. And I think I'm going to have to go with Tekken, man. I think I'm going to have to go with Tekken. And it's hard because Warhammer would be... It's like... These four are very close for me, right? Call of Duty, Helldivers, Tekken, and Warhammer were very close to me in terms of like my fun with multiplayer. But I have more friends that play on Tekken. So you get that added experience of voice chat and inside jokes and stuff. Whereas when I'm playing Black Ops or Warhammer, I'm just muting all the other chats because there's like children acting stupid or like just idiots talking stuff I don't care about, and I'm just I'm just like by myself with other people. Whereas when I play Tekken, I'm with myself with other people, if that makes sense. But yeah, let's go on to Best Sim. What's this all about? Why would they do this? I was going to say Frostpunk 2 easily, goodbye, but no. I'm sorry. Unicorn Overlord is very good. Manor Lords was very fun. I was about to say, bro, what does it mean Best Sim? These are strategy games. But okay, Sim and strategy. I don't know why. I hate this because this is so fucking good. Then this is a game that unfortunately did not meet sales because whatever reason, Capcom just did not market this game. And this is one of those examples of like a good game will not do well, even if it's a good game, you need marketing. You got to put it in front of people's faces. This and Guardians of the Galaxy are two examples of great games that just didn't meet what they needed to meet, which is sad because we may not get sequels to those. But Overlord, Unicorn Overlord is actually one of the best RPGs I've ever played. So this is so hard. This is actually hard, bro. Don't let anyone tell you this was a bad year for gaming. Please, they don't know what they're talking about. They need to play more games, bro. I'm gonna go with Unicorn Overlord, man. That game was just way too good. That game was just way too good. Best family, don't care about that. Best fighting game. This is gonna be also very difficult for me, bro. This is gonna be very difficult. I had it on Twitter yesterday. If you guys saw. About me talking about it, and this is gonna be a long video, by the way. So get some popcorn, put this on iTunes or Spotify. I think I have to do that, right? Just get ready because this is gonna be a long video. Yeah. So I love Dragon Ball Sparking so much. I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's fair Marvel's Capcom 2 is up here, only because it did not come out this year. This is a port of a game that came out 170,000 years ago. And while I personally think this is the best game of the 5 that I'm shown, it did not come out this year. It was ported this year. Now, Justin Wong, he showed us the agenda. He said, hey, vote for Marvel 2, because if that wins, it's very that just helps give more a bigger resume for them to make Marvel's Capcom 4, right? I don't talk about Marvel's Capcom Infinite because there is not a Marvel's Capcom Infinite. It's Marvel's Capcom 4 when it comes out one day eventually. So I see the agenda, and I might want to do that, but I want to also be fair to everybody, right? Shoot. Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Multiverses is not even in contention with me. And Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising did not come out this year. Didn't this come out like December of last year? I'm so confused. Oh, man. The only reason why my conscience won't let me vote for MVC2 is because it is a port. And that would go against literally what I said about like everything else. You know what I mean? It's a port from the game it got released this year, re-released, right? It got re-released. It's not even a remaster or a remake. It just got re-released. I can't in good conscience click on it, even though that is literally the best fighting game here. I gotta go with Tekken, man. Gotta go with Tekken, man. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. I gotta go with Tekken. I may possibly change that to Sparking Zero. I may possibly, because you can still change it. I may possibly change that. Best RPG. Let's see what this is. I'm not gonna do all the categories, obviously. I don't even need to look, man. I'm sorry. I don't even need to look. This is Metaphor is my game of the year. Like, it's my game of the year. It's also my RPG of the year. This is the best game that came out this year. And I'm sorry, I loved Rebirth. And honestly, playing it on the PS5 Pro makes the experience way better. Everything looks amazing and it runs perfectly. It's way better. I don't know if you guys ever went back and played Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PS5. But that game, like, it looked incredible because on the 4, right, on base 4, some textures were looking ugly and the frame rate wasn't that great. But on PS5, it's phenomenal. And that's what I was hoping the performance of Rebirth would be. Excuse me. However, it wasn't when it first came out, right? The game itself, right, the quality of the actual content in the game is amazing. It's just the visuals and the performance that were holding it back for me. And that got remedied with the PS5 Pro. So, yeah, that's huge. But this game is so good, bro. The story, the characters, the combat. I love Metaphor, Refantasio, and I pray they make a Metaphor, a second of these. I hope this becomes its own franchise, just like Persona, just like Shin Megami Tensei. I hope this becomes its own thing. I didn't play Infinite Wealth because I haven't finished Yakuza Like a Dragon yet, Yakuza 7 yet. Elden Ring, of course, is amazing, but I'm sorry, I have to get it to Metaphor. Dragon's Dogma 2, unfortunately, did not live up to my expectations. I think it was good, but that also was very plagued by performance issues. It's still plagued by performance issues even on the Pro. Like, it's much better than it was earlier. But also, like, depending upon what graphics card you have, like, I have a 3090 Ti, and I'm still getting, like, 40 to 50 frames in some areas, and that just shouldn't happen. Unfortunately, Dragon's Dogma 2 is not as good as I wanted it to be, to the point where I think the first Dragon's Dogma is much better, and that should never happen. Not saying this is a bad game, by the way. I just had very high hopes for Dragon's Dogma 1 because I think Capcom is probably the best developer in gaming right now. They have just produced banger after banger when it comes to Resident Evil, when it comes to Devil May Cry, when it comes to Monster Hunter, when it comes to the brand new IPs like that Path of Goddess thing that I was just showing you. They have done better than everyone else, in my opinion. And so I had high hopes for Dragon's Dogma 2, and it kind of fell flat for me, unfortunately. But maybe I'll give it another try. Right? Maybe I'll give it another try. Best action and adventure. Why the fuck is Silent Hill 2 on this? This is not an adventure game. This is a action horror. For the best action adventure game, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. I'm going to be honest. If there is not a horror section, I'm going to have to wonder what the hell is going on. There's not a horror section. Who is creating these? What? There's not a horror section. Who is creating these? The reason why I'm saying that is because some of y'all probably didn't play this game. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, unironically, is the best Ubisoft game that has come out in probably the past, like, I don't know, since Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So whenever that came out, 2019, whatever. This was actually an incredibly quality game. Like, incredibly good. To the point where you're kind of wondering how the hell they could come out with this full-fledged quality game, but then they have Star Wars Outlaw as well. That came out horrifically. That thankfully they are addressing a lot of the issues now. They have been very transparent with what they're changing, and a lot of that stuff is stuff that I thought was bad. For example, like the AI, the fact that you couldn't have multiple weapons, they're now allowing you to use multiple weapons. The fact that the animation for killing people were the same every time, they're changing that. They're giving enemy weak spots now, so your aim actually matters. A lot of different, and that's just the first upgrade, right? Visuals, of course, and everything. Animations are different. Cover is different. AI, I already said that. So it's weird, but they're actually fixing the game, which is good because I haven't beaten it, which means I might actually be able to play it when it's actually good. I'm going to vote on this game because Prince of Persia was actually insane. If you are a Metroidvania fan, get this game. It is very, 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 very good. It is, I would say, a tier, like the tier below the, I'd say it's on the same tier as Metroid Dread. Yeah. I'd say it's on the same tier as Metroid Dread. Best action game. Ooh. Y'all are going to be shocked. But I'm going with Space Marine 2. I actually really love Space Marine 2. I think it was incredible. I think that it has everything that you're looking for when it comes to these type of like old school kind of arcadey Gears of War-esque shooters, right? That Unreal Tournament, the Gears of War, bloody guts, just brutal ass combat. That made me love this game. And not only is it a really good single player, but you also have PvP, which is really fun. You also have co-op missions, which is fun. You can also do the entire story co-op if you wanted. Yeah, this was a very quality game, and I really fuck with that. Don't care about that. Best mobile game, you already know where it's going. Come on, man, don't play with me. I love this game. I love this game, and I didn't even know this game was coming out. One of my boy John, for those who are old Keith Crew fans, my boy John, he's the Asian man on my on my card on my what's it called, the front screen of my YouTube videos. He's the one who had to tell me this game even existed back in like September, and I was like, how do I not know? I follow a whole bunch of like prominent YouTubers in the Pokemon community. Like, they're my, I have some of them that are my friends, and I didn't hear one of them even talking about this. I'm like, what? And then now you check it, there's over like 20 million downloads or something crazy. Best debut indie game. Here's the issue: I've been slacking on my indie games, so I can't even. I'm sure Balataro will win this. This is from Donkey, I believe, right? Did I play Menor Lords? I did not play Menor Lords. Yeah, I didn't play Menor Lords. That sounds familiar, though. Did I play Menor Lords? I don't think I did. Best independent game. Isn't this the same? Is that not the same thing as indie? I don't get it. Best community support. Come on, man. Let's not play around. Damn! Why is No Man's Sky still here? You see what I'm saying? Well, I guess that would make sense, right? Because it's ongoing. Dang, bro, this is hard, man. Baldur's Gate is really good at support, but so is Final Fantasy 14. I don't know much about Fortnite. And like I said, Helldivers, they started great, but they did listen to the community. They ended up listening to the community. So I guess you could... They started great, had a horrible middle, but currently they are good. So that means they listened. However, Baldur's Gate never messed up. Right? They never messed up. And you can make the argument, well, if they never messed up, how do you know how they're going to react when they do mess up? You know what I mean? They may mess up and then they don't, adapt or be better. But you already know that the Helldivers messed up and then they adapted and became better and showed they listened. So you never know. But I'm going with Baldur's Gate. Man. We go on Baldur's Gate. Best ongoing. What's that all about? Destiny 2, Diablo. Here's the problem. I don't play Destiny 2 as much as I want to. So I don't know what that's all about. I don't think I want to vote on this right now because these multiplayers I don't play long enough for me to make an educated guess or educated decision on how good they're doing. Ongoing games for impact. Now, what does it mean? Okay, for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Oh, well then, it's either Tales of Kinzara or it's Senua Saga. I'm going with Tales. This was a very good game. This is a very, very good game. This was also an indie game. Like this is an indie game that came out this year. I don't know why it's not in any of the indie debuts. I don't understand. Best performance. This is hard. This is hard. Brianna White. Which one was she? Brianna White. Luke Roberts, I'm pretty sure was James, right? Pretty sure. The problem with yeah, it was James Sunderland. The thing is, Luke Roberts did an amazing job. The problem is that James himself is just not a very, I don't care about the character. He's kind of, I don't want to say it like that. His tone is always the same. It's always very mellow and very like, and that's not a Luke Roberts problem, by the way. That's just James. That's how he's supposed to be. So he did a great job acting like what James is supposed to be. Brianna White, FF7. Who did she play as? Oh, she was. No. I'm so. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's Eris. Yeah, I didn't. Okay. I couldn't put the actress to the character, but now I know. Yeah. That's yeah. Best audio design. None of these I care about. Because that audio design doesn't mean music, right? Yeah, score. This is gonna have to go to FF7. I'm not even, as much as I love Metaphor, FF7 had the best music of this year. Stellar Blade also has some very good music. Best art direction. Yeah, Metaphor. I actually really like the art. I really like the way they designed that. And then we're gonna go to best narrative. All right, so this is where the sweep starts, I guess, because yeah, this is where the sweep must start because best game direction. I think this is the Metaphor sweep for me, boys. I think it's the Metaphor sweep for me. Let's break it down. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Yeah. That's and then y'all already know. It's just yeah. Now, again, I can't give you when it comes to the game of the year discussion. These kind of made sense. Like I got 4 out of the 6 right when I made my when I made my lineup. I said take out Balataro and Black Myth, and I said and Elden Ring, and I said Zelda of Echoes and Silent Hill 2, right? So I got 4 out of the 6 correct. I knew Black Myth was in there. I knew Final Fantasy. I knew Metaphor. I knew Astro would be in there. My personal, like I believe I said, was Metaphor, Astrobot, 7 Rebirth, Silent Hill 2, and Space Marines 2. So I would have taken out Black Myth, Balataro, and Elden Ring. And I don't think those are not bad games, by the way. If I take them out of Game of the Year, it doesn't mean they're bad games. I just feel like the other games that were better. I know people were like, what, an indie game is why is Balataro here? I can't really give you a good opinion on Balataro because I didn't play it. Everyone I know says it was amazing, though. Everyone I know says it's amazing. It's infinite replayability, and it's just really creative, and it's fun. So, yeah, that's kind of it for this video. Just wanted to do my little rant about what I think about the Game of the Year award nominees, and I wanted to, kind of throw in a few votes myself. We voted actually for a lot. The rest I may end up voting for, but these are what I really cared about the most. But yeah, let me know what you guys think and what you guys think is going to be Game of the Year. But all right, boys, I'm out. Peace.